Stephen Miller's wife has described him as a sexual matador on Fox News. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
Oh, he's a Nazi.
Red-looking little white man, honestly.
He has little man syndrome there.
I shouldn't wish ill on people, but I wish ill on him.
Stephen Miller's married?
In 2019, the Southern Poverty Law Center reported on emails showing that Stephen Miller has an affinity for white supremacy. He would even be in cahoots with far-right outlets like Breitbart, specifically those who could write articles, and he was practically drafting headlines and the bodies of said articles for print. Now, as the man who is practically running the Trump administration's playbook on immigration, I decided to ask folks in Chicago how they would describe a man like Stephen Miller. Before we get into it, if you can, please do give this video a thumbs up. It helps greatly. Subscribe, it is free, and become a channel member. Now, here is that piece. Stephen Miller's wife called him a sexual matador on Fox News. How would you describe him?
Stephen Miller's married?
He is, yeah.
I did not.
Katie Miller.
Wow.
That's a genuinely awesome reaction.
That's kind of scary,
It
actually.
is scary, right? And he has kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, it's
I know.
oh my.
I know. I know.
Sexual matador?
That's what she said. How would you describe him?
He's kind of a hateful, evil person. I don't know about his sex life, but
We shouldn't.
right? I don't even want to imagine that.
No,
But
no.
he seems like Machiavelli or Rasputin behind the throne, advising. I think a lot of what's going on, especially this ICE, is his idea. I don't think Trump has ideas about it.
Stephen Miller's wife has described him as a sexual matador on Fox News. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
Oh, he's a Nazi. I mean, he looks like a Nazi, and he talks just horribly. Yeah, I don't like him.
Stephen Miller's wife described him as a sexual matador on Fox News. How would you describe him?
Who?
Stephen Miller.
Oh, Stephen Miller. I really don't know him that well. We don't watch a lot of the standard TV and everything, but he looks like a slime ball, and the things that he says. I mean, it gets to the point where I can't listen to it anymore. I just can't listen to it anymore. Yeah.
Stephen Miller's wife went on Fox News, Katie Miller, and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
I think he's a 5'2" man who obviously has some issues, too. He has little man syndrome there.
Stephen Miller, his wife went on Fox News and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller? That's a real quote, yeah.
Is it really?
Yes, I swear.
Red-looking little white man, honestly.
When you see someone like Stephen Miller, who his wife on Fox News has called a, quote, sexual matador, how would you describe him?
A sexual matador. I was like, there's really nothing else to say about it, nothing else that can describe such a person like that, such a manner like that, because it's like there's no respect for it. And at the end of the day, people like that deserve I shouldn't wish ill on people, but I wish ill on him, so.
Stephen Miller's wife went on Fox News and described him as a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe him?
Stephen Miller, the bald guy?
Yeah.
That
is a quote, yes.
As just the bald guy. If you need someone else to project your strength, then there's something lacking. I don't think true leaders go into a room making others say they're great or them themselves having to state that they're great. People just know, with what they do and how they show up.
Stephen Miller's wife went on Fox News and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
Oh, Jesus. There's certain people are responsible for these wacky, you porn, what do you call it, trending searches. That would probably be a family that would definitely make an uptick in people getting stuck in dryers and dishwashers.
You know who Stephen Miller is?
You mean the real president behind the president? Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
His wife called him a sexual matador on Fox News. How would you describe him?
Steve Miller?
Yeah. His wife, Katie Miller, said that.
From what I see of him or what I know of him?
Both.
I see the cartoon character, the bald head, the alien guy. I also see a very tiny, small man who's that syndrome of small, that's the syndrome, right? Small man syndrome, where he's trying
Napoleon complex.
He's trying to be bigger than he is, right? And trying to do things that are not American. He is bringing his Nazism to power, unfortunately.
Katie Miller is Stephen Miller's wife. She went on Fox News, rather, and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
I think he's just a creepy little dude. I mean, I'm not even going to use big names to characterize him because it's not even worth it. He's a creepy dude. Like, he's a creepy dude that just worked his way up there, got in somewhere, and is doing his little creepy little puppet stuff because he's a big racist dude, and that's all that it is.
Stephen Miller's wife, do you know who Stephen Miller is?
Yeah, I know Stephen Miller.
Okay, Stephen Miller's wife went on Fox News and said he is a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
I think he is a Nazi. That's it. I think he's an insane Nazi. Even even in his youth, he was. And now he just, became something a little bit more severe, and we got to really keep an eye on him. So, that's all I got to say about that.
Stephen Miller, you know who he is?
Yes.
Okay, Stephen Miller's wife went on Fox News and said he is a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
A virgin, piece of shit, Nazi, white nationalist, freak who nobody's ever going to love, and hopefully he dies alone and goes straight to hell.
Do you know who Stephen Miller is?
Sadly, yes, I do.
Okay, his wife called him a sexual matador on Fox News. How would you describe him?
A piece of shit, an actual piece of shit. Like he's an awful person, an awful human being. I mean, someone who is willing to do the things that he does just understands that they are an awful human being and is fine with it, and that's just worse.
What would be your message to Stephen Miller?
Just stop. The world was built on immigrants, so why try to take them out once they've already built what's already here? All they're doing is just helping our economy. What's wrong with that? Why are you gonna try to send people back that's rightfully doing things? Like, this is basically stolen land from the beginning.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you can take yourself out. But you're not doing that. What's the difference? Skin color?
Yeah.
That's it. You know, like, everybody's human. Everybody got bone, veins, hearts. What's the difference? So
it's racism.
Yeah. Fuck them.
What would be your message to him?
I guess I wouldn't have a message. I would just have a question, like, what kind of heart do you have to see kids and children separated from their birth givers, from their families that need that security and need that shelter and that nurture? Like, we all have issues, we all have problems, but to take away family, I guess it's a question that I have for him, and yeah.
Fuck Stephen Miller, man. I don't know. I don't like. Like, there's a special place in hell for people like that. You know what I mean? There's stuff that happens out here in these streets that shouldn't be happening, especially when it comes from our government that's supposed to be protecting us. Where's the protection? And you're talking about, okay, like, you're talking about immigration, people want to keep fighting everything, but aren't we all immigrants? Didn't we all come from somewhere, honestly, right?
Yes.
Christopher Columbus did not find America, okay? Okay, Christopher Columbus was a fucking rapist,
yes.
All right?
Correct.
So let's just keep it. Like, people seem to forget where they originate. Like, where are your origins from? Unless you are Native American. The Mexican people here have more right to this land than most European descending people, if you want to be honest with it. And there's stuff going around all the world like this. Like, same things happening in Palestine, It's just, you got to come out, you got to step out, and you got to show what's really going on out here. We got to be out here. We got to speak. We got to let people know, hey, we're right here. And if there's something we could do about it, something small, anything, we're going to do it. We're going to step out here. We're going to make some noise. And, hey, you never know. Protest stopped stuff before,
What would be your message to Stephen Miller?
Well, fuck you, Stephen Miller. You're a piece of shit. If you're the one writing the playbook for this shit, God got a place for you. a human, doesn't do things like this, and they don't separate families like this, and don't stop people pursuing a better life for themselves. So one day you'll have to account for your actions and for the administration and the things that they're doing. Because if you set the playbook, then you're responsible for all the actions that's taking place.
Do you know who Stephen Miller is?
Unfortunately, I do.
Okay.
Short man syndrome.
Amen. His wife went on Fox News and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
Not that. I'd call him a short man who is compensating for a lot.
And if you were watching, what would be your message to him?
Fuck off.
Do you know who Stephen Miller is?
I know who he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? Well, first off, his wife went on Fox News and called him a, quote, sexual matador. What do you think of Stephen Miller?
He literally has the sexual proudness of a penny. Like there's nothing sexy about that man. I would rather stick my dick in a sock full of lotion. That's what I think about him.
He said he'd be funny. You did. A rusty penny.
A rusty penny, one of those ones that have like the gum on it.
Yeah.
And like the
New York subway penny.
The green kind of like gangrene, that type of penny.
Gotcha.
Horrible, yeah.
Do you know who Stephen Miller is?
I do.
What do you think of Stephen Miller? Well, first off, let me set up this question. His wife went on Fox News and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
Oh. What does that mean?
Whatever she
Is she
thinks
the
it
bull? Or is she the audience? Or is she another matador? What?
I don't know.
I'm so confused by that statement. I wish she hadn't said that because, I don't know what to think of that.
How would you describe it?
I took a picture of someone's sign earlier, and I think that sums up my feelings about him also pretty well. It says, Stephen Miller is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. Do not trust him. He is a fugly slut. And I agree with that.
Do you know who Stephen Miller is?
I do unfortunately know who Stephen Miller is.
Okay, so his wife went on Fox News and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
Like a baby Nazi, like a wannabe baby Nazi. I don't know if you guys saw one of his more recent interviews where he's just going off. I think it was with a guy on CNN, and you can just tell this man is
plenary authority interview.
His plenary authority moment, and CNN cut out that first minute.
Yes, they did.
And then they got pressured enough to repost it. Thank God. You can see him freeze up, and he knows he's trying so hard to take any power he can. It's I think it's very exemplary of the power that these small sad people wish they could have. It's incredible how unqualified and undignified these people are that are running our nation now.
Yes.
So I mean, there's a lot of people with Stephen Miller signs here, which was I'm happy to see as well, and people are calling him out on stage, which is good to know.
Do you know who Stephen Miller is?
Yeah, he's a little Nazi bitch. And I heard Franco talk about the CNN, his little Freudian slip. Yeah, they're evil, and we're in an actual scary movie right now where the entire government is plotting against us. People are ignoring that, and it's not immigrants who are taking jobs or taking your health care, it's billionaires. And the only people that support billionaires are billionaires and fucking idiots. And a lot of people I know that support these billionaires are broke, so which are you?
So I can say that I can see the bullshit coming off your shiny head, Steve.
What would be your message to Stephen Miller?
Go to church on Sunday, man.
He's a Jewish Nazi.
Oh, fuck that, man. Truly.
I'm not kidding.
Hey, truly, man, fuck that, man. Yeah. And I'm going to tell him, too. I'm going to say that I'm also going to pray for him, man. I'm going to pray for him, that you understand the wrong that you are doing.
Obviously, you know who Stephen Miller is.
I do know who Stephen Miller is.
His wife went on Fox News and called him a, quote, sexual matador. How would you describe Stephen Miller?
I would describe Stephen Miller as a man who is broken and somehow fully out of touch with his core humanity, and it's manifesting in some of the vilest, most despicable manner possible. The people, I didn't understand Toni Morrison's work as a younger woman, and it took me a long time to even say that out loud. The older I get, the better and more thoroughly I get it. And there's this Charlie Rose interview that has always stayed with me. That when it's easy to understand the trauma of slavery, and how, we now know trauma is heritable. My own father. My father was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi in 1919. He was chased out of his hometown by a lynch mob as a 17-year-old. And it's 100 plus years later, and we're still dealing with the same issues. I used to wonder what was wrong with old black people, especially older black women. Why are so many people so bitter, so angry? And I get it now. Because it never ends. I mean, I have seen Roe v. Wade both decided and reversed in my lifetime. We are watching the real-time erosion of everyone's civil rights in ways that I've only read about in history. I have crawled through the space where Anne Frank and her family hid. I cannot imagine doing anything other than helping and protecting people who need help, because my ancestors certainly did. It all just seems to come full circle to the same issues. Different hat, different decade, same shit that this country has refused to deal with. And either we're going to deal with it or we're not. And you can break it down leftist, conservative, blue, red. You are either on the side of humanity in your policies and your course forward for yourself and for all of us, or you're not. And you can frame it any way you wish, changes nothing. People say it's a complex issue. None of it's complex. The lies and propaganda machine want you to believe, or want us to believe, that it's complex. It's not complex at all. It comes down to plain and simple humanity. My son has lived in Berlin, Germany for the last 7-8 years now. I have never been more grateful that my black son is not in this country. I told him earlier this year that if unsolicited advice from your mother, because I feel I need to say this to you, if you have not already sought out permanent residency, you should do that now. What you do, I've never felt I would want to leave this country. It's all of our country, but the history that got us here speaks for itself, and pretending that it's something else doesn't accomplish anything. It's not gonna address it. So you can break it into these parts, but are you on the side of humanity or not? And I am. I'm on the side of humanity, and that's why I'm here.
I know you are too. What would be your message for him?
Go yourself. Go die on the swastika you hold up. Even though the swastika isn't yours and you stole that too.
That's true.
That's
true. Yeah.
Everything.
Buddhists,
right? No. Yeah. Buddhists, Indian. I mean, whatever. Those that believe in Shiva. I mean, all these. People of color. Everything in this world come from people of color, right? I don't know. They are for draconians, but we're not gonna get in that too. But I know where they come from. They reptilians. We ain't gonna say that either out loud, but.